Good morning. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dylan. I am the Summer Outreach Coordinator here at St. George's. And today I will be talking about the shield of faith. So to start, I just want to ask the question, so what is faith? How do we know if we are actually building our faith out of the right materials? Is it something that we can trust to defend us in times of need? So this past Tuesday, I was driving home from Surrey to Abbotsford after visiting home. And as I was driving along the highway, there was this most amazing sunset. Like, it was spectacular. And as I was watching this dazzling array of reds, oranges, and yellows, I really started to think about the sun as it was disappearing behind the horizon. Because right as it disappeared, I did not get afraid that it was gone. Even though I couldn't see it, or even though I couldn't sense it, I had faith that it would come back again to do what it always does, to rise again in the morning. I had a confident assurance that the sun would come back the next morning as it has in the past. And that's just what faith is. Faith is a confident assurance in things not yet seen. A swordsman doesn't put forth their shield if they are merely hoping for it to block something. No, a swordsman puts forth their shield so that they don't even need to be concerned about getting hit. And then they can focus on wielding their sword. They have a confident assurance that whatever comes their way, the shield is able to block it. And it's the same with faith. It is a confident assurance that should drive our actions. Just like how I go to bed without a worry because the sun will rise again the sky the next day, we should be motivated to act upon our faith in Jesus and his promises. If we have this much assurance in the Son, how much more should we have faith in Jesus, the Son of God, to be with us? To be with us when we're happy, when we're glad, when everything is okay, but also to be with us when we're hurting, to be with us when we have doubts about ourselves. Amidst the sadness, the mourning, the pain, Jesus is working. If we truly believe that Jesus is this Emmanuel, this God with us, it should affect how we live completely. Shields are necessary to stand firm. And as I was preparing for this talk, I spent a lot of time kind of envisioning what a real shield actually looks like. And when I thought about it, shields come in different shapes and sizes. They can be as small as a little buckler on your arm, and they can be as large as this tower that you can completely hide behind. Shields can also be made with tons of different materials. Sometimes they're made with wood, other times they're made with leather. They can also be made with metals or tough polycarbons that we see in today's modern-day riot shields. There's a need for shields to become stronger as we adapt to different attacks. So how do we deepen our faith? How do we strengthen our shield? We deepen our faith by knowing more about the one who our faith revolves around, Christ. Our faith in Christ should be building towards becoming stronger and stronger. Faith is what continues to transform us. A word that one of my favorite teachers in high school often used to describe this is metamorphosized, which is a big word, and it describes the action of a little caterpillar that spends its time in its cocoon and struggles and struggles and struggles to finally become that beautiful butterfly. And what's interesting about a caterpillar is if you help it out of its cocoon, it doesn't actually have the strength to be able to fly. It actually has to struggle. And faith is challenging. We struggle all the time. But it is in those struggles that our faith becomes stronger. A caterpillar and a butterfly are the same original creature, yet they're completely different. The caterpillar is completely changed. and our lives in Christ become made new so that we may love those around us to the best of our ability. Shields have continued to evolve and have been improved upon to give the best defense possible. And if a shield is used regularly, it definitely needs maintenance. Like how a toy may need new batteries or how a car needs its oil changed regularly. We should be actively checking up on our faith. And this can't just be on our own, because as much as we would not like to admit it, we can't see all of the faults or weak points in our shield. But I think it is much better to be vulnerable with others that we trust than to leave ourselves with a weak shield. So ask someone how they are doing in their faith, like really ask them and mean to ask it. Take the time to actually talk about it. Take the opportunity to ask David out for coffee, send him an email, send him a letter. I'm absolutely sure he would love to spend the time talking to you. And we should be honest when someone asks us how we're doing instead of giving the habitual, I'm doing good answer whenever we pass by someone on the street. Take the few seconds and mull over how you're actually feeling. Spend the time and energy to be vulnerable with your friends about your faith, while also being the one who listens and not just hears that there's an issue. Where we place our faith demonstrates to others what we believe. We know that faith is important, similar to how we know that a shield is important to defend oneself. But if we never actually pick up our shield, it doesn't do a whole lot of good. What we have our faith in is what helps us identify ourselves and helps other people identify us. Shields are often used to display certain allegiances. And hopefully there's a slide that shows that. Awesome. So this is from the Canadian coat of arms, if you didn't know that. And I actually do have another picture to show that shows the coat of arms. So this is the coat of arms, which I have lovely printed out copy of it. And on it, you can see that there is a shield in the middle. Now, I don't know if any of you know what it looks like. And so I will try to tell you, but actually I don't know what the shield actually represents. I can see that there's maple leaves. I can see that there's some fleur-de-lis. I can see that there's lions on the shield and a harp. But I don't actually know what those things represent. And as a person who likes to know things, just because, it was actually extremely hard for me not to actually look it up and to actually figure out what these pictures actually represent. Because we see this coat of arms actually on lots of occasions. Like this is on our passports, I think it's on our driver's licenses, like it's in places that we often see. But how many of us actually know what it actually means? I feel like this is the same when other people look at us as Christians, when we bear our shield. Others who are our friends with us know that we're Christian without knowing what that actually means for us. Why? Because they often see us simply holding our faiths out instead of seeing us in action. Do our faiths reflect who we declare our allegiance for? Or do we fail to bear our faith in God for more flashy but flimsy logos and designs of loving money or toys or video games or whatever it may be? Because it's easy to say that we have faith in here, in this building. It's easy to say that we believe in God in here because we are comfortable here. But how hard is it to be showing our faith out there? How hard is it to be showing our faith outside of those doors, at our front lines in life, at work, at school, at the beach, on a hike, wherever we are? The gospel passage that we read today actually displays the faith that I aspire to have, and I hope you can say the same. Because in that story, we see a blind man who, against everything that other people are saying, against everything, against the rebuke, against the The moments where people are telling him to shush as Jesus is passing by, he continues to cry out louder and louder for Jesus to come and save him. And as we leave this place today, I would like to challenge us to tell someone how we are doing in our faith. How are we crying out more and more to God? Whether that means texting someone or calling them or dropping by someone's house, the choice is yours. But we can delve deeper in our faiths. And it is my hope that we always do that.